Fantastic.
Okay, I'm going to read my little nephew's dream. I'm
Okay.
sorry. There we go. Okay, now I can see you. Sorry about that. He is 8 years old, and I'm encouraging him to, tell me about his dreams. I just randomly asked him, and he told me, "Oh, I had this dream last week," and I was amazed at how he remembered so much detail of the dream. So here we go. So his brother, who's 2 years younger. Sorry, here we go. His brother is 2 years younger. Ah, I'm sorry. Here we are. This is perfect. Sorry. Okay, so his brother is 2 years younger, and his brother took their fish to his cousin's house, his little cousin's house. She's 4 years old. They're first cousins, and when they were at the cousin's house, Spiros asked his brother Yanni, "Can I take him back to our house?" And his brother said yes. So he brought them to the house, and he brought them because he's very caring about animals and fish, and he wanted to bring him to his house because his tank was much larger, even in real life. So anyway, when he brought him to the house, he had an aha moment. He was like, "Oh, these are not my fish. My fish are in the tank, and they're orange. These are swordtail fish." And he knows all about sea life. So he explained to me that I had to look him up, but he already knew that they're iridescent white with a very thin orange strip. They look beautiful. I said, "Oh my God." When I looked at them, I was like, they look like angelfish. They just look beautiful. Like they're very bright fish, and they're called swordtail fish. So he was like, "Oh, these are not our fish that I thought my brother took to my cousin's house, and I brought them. They're actually other fish." Who he didn't know what happened, where they came from. So he noticed that his father was in the kitchen, and he was having sardine salad, which usually his mother eats. The father never has sardine salad. And basically, his dad was just eating and talking to him, and that was the end of the end of the dream. He woke up.
Wow. So you went from talking about fish to eating fish.
I'm sorry. Yeah. Yes. And I'm gonna just explain one thing that might be important. These children. This is his aunt passed away 6 months ago, and where he brought the fish to, the cousin's house, is the little girl's mom that passed away.
Mm.
So I thought it might have something to do with it.
So how old is he?
He's 8.
Spiros is 8. He's your son, right?
No. Oh yeah, thank you. I'm that young. Yes, no, to have an 8-year-old. No. This is my niece's son.
Your niece's son. Okay.
Yes,
And who had the dream?
the little boy, 8 years old.
He had the dream. Okay, yeah.
So his aunt is in heaven. His aunt is in heaven.
Yeah. And how old was his little sister? Was 6?
4. No, cousins. She's
Cousin was
cousins. She's his aunt's daughter.
Okay.
And her mom is the one who's in heaven.
Mm.
So his little brother brought the fish to his cousin's house, the little girl's house, and then he asked his brother, "Can I bring him back?" thinking it was their fish, but it turned out it wasn't their fish, because the fish was swordtail fish, and they're completely different color. They're white with an orange strip, where his fish in real life are just bright orange.
Okay. So they were swordtail fish.
Yes.
And his fish are actually bright orange.
Yeah.
Right. And then there was, who was eating the sardine salad?
The dad, who normally doesn't eat sardine salad. His mother normally eats sardine salad. He told me that. Make sure I say it.
Yeah. People are telling me I need a family tree in front of me. I'm just trying to figure out.
It's not that hard. It's 3 kids. It's 3 kids.
Three
So
kids.
the 2 are brothers. The 2 are brothers, and the little girl, she's my niece's daughter who's in heaven. So the little brother brought them to the little girl's house, to his cousin's house. And the older boy, Spiro, asked if he could bring him back, but then realized it wasn't their fish to begin with. And he didn't know where they got them from, but they're white with, like, they're iridescent white, this fish that he saw with an orange strip. And his dad was having sardine salad in the kitchen and just talking to him.
So his dad's having sardine salad. The fish that he had was swordtail fish, but the ones that he has in real life are iridescent with the orange stripe.
No,
they're just bright orange.
Bright orange.
You're just. It's been a long day for you. You're just tired.
It's the iridescent fish with the orange stripe is the swordfish.
There's the swordtail. Yeah.
Swordtail. Yeah. Wow. Interesting. Okay. What do you get, Neil?
After all that.
After all that.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
God. Okay, so two brothers, the Sons of Thunder fishermen, 6 and 8. So what's the younger brother's name?
Yanni, like John the Baptist. Yeah.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Good name.
Yanni and Spiros.
Yeah.
Yanni and Spiros.
Yes.
So Spiros sounds like, tip of the spear, like swordtail fish, right? It sounds like aggressive, somebody that goes after like a conqueror,
Spiros,
Spiros
has to do with spirit. What does it translate to be? What does Spiros translate?
I don't know. I'm not a translator, but thank you for
Stella
asking.
knows. Come on, I'm not asking you, John. Stella's Greek. She knows. Spiros.
It's a good question, but it's like it's not. It doesn't translate to anything.
Spiritul. No, that's not. Yeah.
It's like Spyros. I didn't even think to. I'm so used to saying the name that I didn't even. It doesn't translate to something I know.
Okay. So anyway, these two, the two brothers, are fisher keepers, right? So it's the thought of evangelists. Like these two are going to have something to do with evangelism in the future, and sharing the gospel, sharing their fish with the cousin. What's the cousin's name? What's her name?
Maria.
Should have known. Maria. Okay, so 4-year-old Maria gets a fish, and this is their way of sharing what they know with this little girl. And I think this is in early stages of being evangelists. And Spiros cares for him so much that he wants to take him home, but he gets the wrong one. It's like he gets it home. It's like, these aren't my fish.
Right.
These fish don't belong with him. He shouldn't have taken them back, because they really don't belong to him. Once you give them away, they stay away. You don't pull back the gospel from somebody. You leave it with them. It stays with them. And he puts them in a larger tank, but that's the tank that he's pulling from. So the fish originally came out of there. So he has a large tank. It's kind of like a large storehouse of fish to give to other people. So it's coming from a larger tank, like it's filled to overflowing. You said even in real life, he has a bigger tank than she does.
Yeah.
And so the fish that he has are orange. So you can tell the difference between the two. So the ones that belong in his tank are all orange. They're all oranges. Yes. He belongs in Florida with all the other oranges. And the swordtail fish, get the feeling that the swordtail fish have something to do with spiritual warfare. The sword of the spirit, but it's on the tail, which is kind of goofy. It's not on the head. The sword belongs in the hand, not in the tail.
Right. That's what confused me. I thought of that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the early stages of, he's a young kid, so he's learning spiritual warfare, and he's got to get the sword into his hand eventually, out of the tail and into the hand. And then he goes to the kitchen and finds his father eating sardine salad, which mom usually eats, and he's just talking to him.
Yeah.
It's interesting that he's eating the fish, which is kind of like, feeding 5,000. I mean, there's 2 fish or 5 fish and 2 fish, 5 loaves. get those mixed up. I don't know which one's which. Anyway, the fish it's a form of sustenance that's dad's eating, but it's kind of unusual. His son revels in taking care of fish, but dad's eating them. You know, you do take care of them. You know, they are pets. They are meant to be cared for, but it's also a form of food, you know?
He's eating sardines, and sardines are much smaller.
Yeah.
So I was wondering if that had also something to do with it. And the dad, I feel like the dad is not, I feel like the son is going to be way more spiritually mature than the dad.
Yeah.
Well, the
So
dad's not handling live fish.
12 spies went into the promised land and they came back and they said their giants were like grasshoppers in their eyes. And then the two said, they will be as bread to us, meaning we'll just eat them up. We'll attack them. And so that's the idea of the father eating the fish, but they're eating small fish, and sardines are known to be in confined spaces, right? You're talking about they're like sardines in a can. And so the father is doing what the mother used to do. So here's what I feel like. The mother used to carry the spiritual mantle for the family. And so now that she's gone, the dad is starting to do.
No, she's here. No, this is the sister. The sister is present. She's alive.
Okay, so the dad that's eating, it's not his wife that died.
No,
it's the cousin's mother.
It's a cousin's.
But it was his sister?
It was the his wife's sister.
I do need a family tree.
Family tree.
No, he got it.
I got it.
You're just tired today.
Well, somebody said in the comments that the dad is eating what the mom used to eat.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. But the mom is still alive.
Okay.
Yeah.
She's just not in the kitchen.
Okay.
They're trying to throw you off, John.
They are.
It's the idea of the passing of the mantle of spiritual warfare.
Okay.
And the son is going to have the swordfish, which means his propensity to both war on behalf of the family and the bloodline is going to be much greater than even the mother and the father. The mother and the father are used to eating, which is the idea of conquering. When it's compared to the spy's story, they will be as bread to us, but only small fish that are in confined spaces. Where a swordfish is like a hunter. Now he already has orange. He already has orange fish, right? So orange fish reminds me of hunter's orange. When we go out to hunt and shoot guns in the woods, and you wear hunter's orange, right? So the idea again that he's going to have a sword in his hand, and he already has fish that are the color of hunter's orange, right? Is the idea that he's going to be a hunter, and where the family may not have ventured into spiritual warfare as much, he's going to be the one. He's going to carry the new mantle, the brightly colored mantle of going into and pursuing the enemy and taking him down. That's what I get out of it.
Interesting.
So, amen.
That's really interesting. I just, when I first heard the dream, I just thought about him evangelizing, and, you know, because he's the firstborn out of all the children also. But it's very interesting that you think about spiritual warfare, like because he's so young.
Mm-hmm.
That's why do you think that he's only 8 years old? Why would God?
Because Satan doesn't care how old you are when he attacks. He attacks the young and the old alike. And
because think of David when he was baptized to be, or when he was set to be king. He was the youngest. He was the smallest. He was the kid out playing with his sheep. But he was trained in warfare because he was used to killing the lions and the bears with his bare hands. So you can be young and have a destiny. He was arguably Israel's greatest general and greatest king. So it's the idea of it's an identity dream for him that he's, and his name is Spiros, right?
Yeah.
Right, which is the idea of a large basket, which is also, but it's also the idea of, you know, I heard tip of the spear. So he was a young kid. Josiah was a young kid too. Yeah, he was a young kid, but he's going to have a propensity, I believe now, and it's both, to be able to go out and to witness to people and bring them into the kingdom as fishers of men, but also to be a person that has literally the sword in his hand.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, he never returns the fish when he realizes they're not his. He keeps them.
No.
So it's now something he carries, and they're iridescent white, right? That's what you said.
Yeah,
White's the
Beautiful.
color of purity. White's the color of purity. So he's added a purity to the animals that he already has, the fish he already has. It still has the orange stripe in it, so there's still an element of the past, the hunter part of it, but it's the majority of it is white.